All righty, welcome one and all to another edition of the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by Water Cleanup of Florida. The rains are here. The heat and humidity is here. That is so much fun for our homes and our offices. Not really, but what is fun for homes and our offices is the fact that we know Water Cleanup of Florida is there to help us with water or fire issues. 954-579-0356. You never want to deal with stuff with your home, but it's going to happen. You never want to deal with stuff with your office. It's going to happen. But the way to alleviate some of the stress behind that is to know good people are there to help you. Water Cleanup of Florida are those people. 954-579-0356. Check them out on their website, wcufl.com, at Water Cleanup FL. Michael, George, Robert, their entire team with vastly over 60 years of combined experience. And that experience comes in handy. First of all, dealing with service industry companies is a pain in the butt. It just is. Even when they do a good job, a lot of the time just wrangling them, getting an appointment, getting them to come on time, getting them to communicate with you what the problems are, getting invoices and this and that and costs, and whatever costs they give you, it's usually not accurate. It's usually way more, and they act like that's not a big deal. And there's a whole ton of fun that goes in with dealing with service industry companies. Not Water Cleanup of Florida. They are fantastic. They will get back to you right away. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yes, if you reach out to them at 3 in the morning, they may not get back to you 3:15, but by the morning you'll hear from them. You can make an appointment, and they'll come out. They'll talk to you in full of what are the issues. They then will fix those issues, and because they have certified, insured, licensed contractors on staff, they'll make it look brand new. Why do I know this so well? I know from experience. My wife and I had issues at our townhouse. We went to Water Cleanup of Florida, and they were fantastic. I will sing their praises to the end of the days. You will sing their praises again, 954-579-0356. Check them out again on their website, wcufl.com, at Water Cleanup FL for the socials. If you have the schmutz, I'm telling you, they have the guts. The Florida Panthers have taken a thing or two from the Miami Heat and are gutsy, as it gets right now, up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals. They have been dominant most of the playoffs. Game 1, they played one of their worst games of the playoffs and still found a way to win 3-0. They fixed things. Game 2, they were dominant. They were aggressive on both ends of the ice to the point where they got the Oilers frustrated, got chippy. Some really stupid, dirty plays by the Edmonton Oilers. But the Panthers come away with a 4-1 victory, now lead 2-0, heading up to Edmonton for Game 3 Thursday night. We talked with a guy who's become our favorite NHL hockey Panther correspondent. He is a restaurateur. He is a renowned chef. He's also the brother-in-law of Roberto Luongo and has played hockey his whole life. This guy knows a thing or two about the pucks. Rino Cerbone of Heritage Restaurant in Fort Lauderdale joined us today to talk some Panthers and some Stanley Cup Finals. The Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. 5 Reasons Sports Network.
A lot of questions to explore here with the great Rino Cerbone. Owner, proprietor, chef extraordinaire, Heritage Restaurant, one of the fine spots you'll find anywhere on the South Florida or any dining scene. Well, we love the place. Try the bouillabaisse, best in the city. We welcome him to the program here. Rino, good morning, man. Thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
What's going on, buddy? How's everything? What's up, Luke?
Good morning, Mr. Cerbone.
Yeah, we have all kinds of questions, ethical questions, different things that we've been exploring here on the show. Because we like to play a game on this program called What Kind of Scumbag
Are you?
I love this game already.
Well, and so this was an ethical question. I just see where you weigh in on this thing, because a friend of ours posted that he had a couple of tickets that he had bought at what you would say what was probably a discount of some sort, because he's a member of the media, and he said that the people that he bought the tickets for couldn't make it to the game last night, and he was going to offer them, implying, I guess the implication was there, to somebody who really wanted to fucking go and then sit there with Craig Minervini of the broadcast team, a great guy. He would have been fascinating to sit with.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So he was going to sell you the tickets for what he paid for them. But our thought was, well, whatever he paid for them, it's got to be less than we could get if we went outside the arena there and tried to sell them to some schmuck who had been shut out and would pay anything to go to this game. So it's an ethical question. What kind of scumbag would get the tickets under the auspices, the premise that, hey, you really wanted to go to the game, so I did you a favor and I sold these tickets to you instead of the 20 other people that wanted them at the price I paid? Would it be a low-level degenerate move to then turn around and subsequently sell them so that when Minervini got to his seat, he saw two strangers show up and said, "Who the fuck are you?"
Wait, so he did it without a heads up? He just sold the tickets?
No, well, he was looking, to kind of, give them, sell them at his price, whatever he had laid out for him, to somebody that really wanted to go to the game. So, I know him well enough. I think if I had put in the inquiry, I probably could have gotten the tickets, but would it have been a scumbag? What kind of scumbag would I have been if I turned around and sold them for more money?
Listen, if I were making a video, I probably would have thrown that guy in the fucking ice just like a rat. Just like the rats. If I'm expecting two people that I'm going to be sitting at the game with and I just see two strangers, which are probably not rad humans to begin with.
Yeah.
I guess, what kind of scumbag am I?
Would he have had every right to be mad, angry about that? Or would he have just applauded the move because he figured, typical DeForest, you're a scumbag? I should have known.
It just sounds like your friend's a really good judging character. That makes sense.
Now, the other question is, were you there last night?
So I ended up going last minute.
Nice.
Oh, wow. All right.
Nice.
I ended up going last minute.
How'd that come about?
Me and a couple of buddies, we would go to like a sports bar and have a lot of beers and be those kind of scumbags. But then last minute, I was able to go, and
Luongo?
I was very nervous because
Luongo
I was
involved?
gone. Huh?
Was Roberto involved in this?
Of course.
Okay. No, I was going to say, for you to come out of pocket, stupid.
I'm pretty important. I'm not that important. But anyway, last minute I was able to go, and I was a little nervous. I was even contemplating not going because every time I've gone to a playoff game, we've lost.
Oh yeah.
No. I was like, I don't know if this is worth it. I think I just need to stay away and just watch away. And I don't know, but apparently last night we brought some good juju. So now I think the curse is lifted, and fucking pumped to get back to Edmonton and get this going.
I'll let Lubie explain his position on this, but that first shot, I get nervous about Bobrovsky when there's been a long period of inactivity at his end of the ice, and I'm thinking that first shot, is going to have a shot to go in. I didn't expect it to go right under his balls and into the net.
Well, if you looked closely, it scraped his balls because it really snuck through. His balls were just low enough, unless he's uneven, and I think that's what happened. If his left nut is a little higher than his right, then that's why the puck was able to kind of just dribble through. If you watch the highlight, it was able to just kind of sneak past him. So he's got to drop his anchor down a little bit lower.
Well, and you can imagine Lubie went nuts then. I mean, a series of texts. I had to eventually just drop myself out of the thread there because. And I don't know, Louis. Did you think they were going to lose just based on that one goal?
No. I actually figured exactly what would happen. I mean, they were controlling the tempo throughout. It reminded me of the Rangers series where they were doing everything right, and the other team could do nothing right. They just couldn't get it to go in, but eventually I figured they would. As good as he was, Skinner's not Shesterkin. He's not one of the great goalies. Right. And he's played well. He hasn't led more than 2 goals in 8 games or whatever, but he hasn't played this team. So I figured if they kept bringing the intensity, he just frustrates me because he usually gives up one stupid ass goal. And it's like, dude, what the fuck was that? But to his credit, and it's what I've said all playoffs, even though I give him shit every time he gives up that goal, he's been fantastic otherwise. And he was again last night. But he also has been getting help. His defense is not, even in game 1 when they had more shots. I thought the stat was a sort of bullshit. Like there was 4 to 5 really good chances, but most of their chances were one and done. And that's when he's his best. As long as there's not a lot of shit in front of him, as long as they're getting the puck out, and they were, it would sit there, but they would be the first one to grab it and get rid of it. Even when they were outshot in games, you still didn't feel like they were outplayed. And last night they dominated the shit out of them last night to the point where it got dirty. And I don't think Edmonton's dirty. I think they were so fucking frustrated. They didn't know what else to do. I think they were like, we can't beat this team playing hockey. Playing hockey, Connor McDavid did not. Rodriguez is bawling out Connor McDavid right now. And Rodriguez is on the 3rd line, maybe the 4th line.
He skipped a couple lines last night. He played on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And after his post-game interview, he just, and this is what I like about Rodriguez. He was just like, whatever they need me to do. That's it. 1st line, 2nd line, 4th line, fucking, take out the garbage, whatever it is, he's going to do it. And, you want a guy like that. You want a guy like that, especially in this time in the playoffs. He had 2 goals last night and he was getting chippy with it too. But you said it exactly right. We were getting under their skin, which is a good thing for us.
Yep.
We were totally getting in their skin. And it wasn't like they were trying to be douchebags on purpose about getting the skin. You just saw, like, by getting in the skin, by beating them to every single loose puck that was imaginable. Now, rewind to game one. We got the W, thank God. And I'm not a negative guy, but we sucked for the first two periods that game. Yes. That many breakaways.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a fucking nightmare. I was like, what is happening? You know, but then again, I didn't mind it because something that they've been really good at all year, and especially in the playoffs, is responding back to the shit that they fucked up on.
Yeah.
So I was like, video guy's going to be really busy. He's going to be really busy for the next day, day and a half or so, because you can't. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can't have 4 breakaways or, odd man rushes in a game like that and then show up in the third period and try to win. Now, I know we're the comeback cats, but how about we just not try that bullshit right now? You know what I mean? Let's stick with it. As far as the goal with Bob last night, didn't really worry me. It was shot one, and it just snuck in. He's so calm and focused all the time. It really didn't bother me. It really didn't worry me because it was just one of those fluky bullshit things that I was like, all right, as long as we don't go down 2-0. And sure enough, they just responded. They, like you said, we were all over them like fucking stink on shit, man. It was amazing. It was awesome.
The face of frustration for many years that the Panthers were mired in sub-mediocrity was always, for me, Victor Kozlov, who would skate around in circles while everybody in the arena was screaming, "Shoot the puck, you schmuck! Shoot the puck!" And you didn't know if you were watching Victor Kozlov in a hockey game or Peggy Fleming in the Olympics. I mean, just a beautiful piece of skating. But then we see this thing with Connor McDavid, and it's a whole different animal. As he skated around, it seemed like for about a minute and a half, dodging everybody, doing pirouettes and figure eights and all kinds of crazy shit while carrying the puck.
He's unreal.
And then for a play that ended up in a turnover.
Yeah, that's what I love.
That was one of the great plays in hockey history. I mean, it was amazing what this guy was doing. So to have him quieted down, I mean, to the point where he's had no impact. It's 7-1 in goals, I mean, so far. So, that's quite an accomplishment.
I mean, listen, when they say he's the greatest player in the world, he's definitely, the guy just, I can't even explain it. I really found myself gravitating like towards him all night last night, just watching him play, seeing if he was getting frustrated, which he did a little bit. But I mean, the way that guy skates and control, it's like the puck is stuck on his stick. It's like a video game. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And the way his feet move, his posture on the ice, the way he's just incredible. Like, look, I don't even have words. The guy's just incredible. What we've done well, first off, give it up for Forsey. I mean, holy shit, man. This guy, such an underrated defenseman. He is just doing everything right. I'm just so pumped. I'm just so pumped he's on our side. We got the biggest thing with us. I noticed last night we were getting a stick in everybody's lane.
Yep.
Everybody's stick was on the ice at all times. There was a play last night, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal if you're really a hockey guy, where Barkov was defending, and he's lefty, right? So he was defending, and without having to move his body so much, he was able to get his stick in the lane by crossing over his body, and intercepting a pass, which was definitely getting to the other guy, and it tripped out of play.
Yes.
It was one of those that it could have been an empty net goal. We were just so composed last night, even playing physical, even being chippy and being kind of prickish here and there. It was like last night was just a great hockey game. But look, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I know they're outmatched and this and that, whatever. And, they only have the one line, and, we have so much depth, which is true. So I'm very pumped about that. But here's the great thing about hockey. You never fucking know.
Oh, yeah. It's still 1-1 into the third period. I mean,
you never know. You could have the best stats and every guy in the world scoring goals, whatever, and you could still lose the fucking game. So I've seen it firsthand. So you know what? Now going back to Edmonton, we're going in their, into their barn. It's a tough crowd to play in front of. I expect them to come out like animals. Curious to see if Dreisaitl's going to play after that hit on Barkey.
Well, yeah, so what are your thoughts on that? Because that's my thing is I get it. It's hockey. It's physical. But even by hockey standard, they had 3 or 4 plays where, and I've watched enough hockey. I'm not a hockey enthusiast, but I've watched lots of hockey. And it's almost like when you fight in the yard Like,
Yeah.
the head, even before all the concussion shit, back in the fucking day, the head, the face is always like sort of an unknown. You don't fuck with the face. You can do whatever the fuck. And even, look, unless it's a boxing match, no, Cecilia, you don't fuck with the face. What he did, it was open ice. I don't even, Barkov even had the puck, went with his arms in this day and age, when we know what you can do with concussions, went right, and the replay shows he led with it. He launched with his elbow, like some MMA shit. And even by hockey standards, it's rare for me to say I've seen anything like that. Like, that was fucking weird. What are your thoughts? And then they did one where the guy put the stick between the legs and went up. Like, I'm like, dude, what's going on with this fucking game? Like, this is the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, I know they're frustrated, but Jesus, like, they got to get this under control. I mean, like, and the Panthers were very physical and aggressive. They weren't doing any extracurriculars. They weren't letting them go, but they weren't doing anything like that. It was just purely, they couldn't get anything done, so they went dirty. Like, you're a hockey guy. Like, a lot of people are saying, how can he not be suspended, especially if Barkov's hurt? Like, that was, the whole thing was just weird to me. And I was like, the refs were sort of almost letting it happen. It was, I didn't understand any of it.
Well, if Barkey doesn't play, then Draisaitl is going to be suspended, right? If he causes an injury, he's going to be suspended. The thing that's going to be questionable is that, it was a 2-minute minor, which was surprising. But he left it. Listen, when you jump, when your skates lift the ice,
yes,
you're automatically getting really, really looked at, hardcore. That, to me, like, the puck was in the area. It was in the area, so it's not like it was completely lost. But that was kind of a send message kind of hit. That wasn't really like
it wasn't a hockey play.
I'm just trying to meet you in the boards and get this puck. This was kind of like, I'm fucking pissed, and there's their guy, and I'm gonna kind of jump forward, which is not a character for Draisaitl, because he's not a really dirty guy. He's very skilled and he's very amazing, but dude, we're under their fucking skin. I mean, that's the bottom line. And he saw an opportunity and he took it. It's probably it's not looking well for him. I think it was bullshit as far as the stick in the legs. It was with Cooley and who was it? Holloway? I forgot who it was. But they were chipping back and forth. I mean, you don't play with a man's manhood like that unless you're gonna buy him a drink. Come on, man, he's an audience watcher, for God's sake. For God's sake.
Looked like a scene at the bar at Heritage.
You guys are gonna play fucking sticks and sticky sticks with each other. Like, come on. But listen, they're they're pissed. They're pissed. And the guy that I wanted to fight myself was fucking Evander Kane. Dear God,
that was classic when you got at the end of the game.
Solely for, I don't know if you guys saw the replay last game, that he was skating to his bench and Chucky was skating to the Panther bench and he just punched Chuck in the face. Did you guys see that replay?
No.
I did not see that one, no.
I saw it the day after and I was just fucking fuming. I was like, this motherfucker. No wonder why you get run out of town wherever you go. It's like, settle down, you fucking sissy. Just like,
is there a possibility that people had to hold you back and keep you from going out on the ice because you would have had access courtesy of Luongo?
Listen, I love goons. I love.
Yeah, I understand hockey.
I love the goon role and I love that stuff, but I don't like dirty. Like, there's a difference. Like, a goon, like, love Maroon, love those guys, like, talk shit. Like Thordy, when he was on Boston, was the best goon ever. Like, even when he came over to Florida, he was still good. I like talk shit, fight, drop the gloves, beat some ass. You know what I mean? But don't be don't be dirty. You know what I mean? If you're dirty, you deserve to get your fucking ass kicked by your whole team.
Does a goon need to? Does a goon need to be able to play a little bit, Reno? I mean, there have been goons that. Goons, do they need to be able to play a little bit, or are they all like? I remember Peter Worrell actually had like the double-bladed skates. He couldn't even actually skate. I mean,
they were actually.
But he was out there somehow. Yeah,
they were sleds. No. Listen, they're in the 90s. Well, I mean, not just the 90s. Hockey was known for having those one or two guys on every team.
Always a good.
Yeah. I mean. Look at Philly, for God's sake. They were called the Brush Street Bullies. Like, it's just it goes with the game. You need one of those guys. It's a part of the game. I love it. They do need to play because those are guys that let you know, come into our crease, hit one of our guys like that. You're gonna meet. Coach is gonna send us out when you're out there, and and you need that because it kind of keeps people a little bit at bay. I don't really find that we have any of those. Like, with us, with the Panthers, it's interesting. We don't have that one guy that's good anymore. Like last year, I guess you could say it was Gudis, but like now, everybody's just got a sprinkle
They're
of
just
dickhead
physical.
in them.
Yeah, they all don't give a
Sprinkle of
fuck.
dick.
They got a sprinkle. They got a dash of. They got a dash
I made
of
this
asshole,
dish with a sprinkle of dickhead.
They do. It's amazing. So if like be like, all right, we'll do a little dash of asshole right now. They'll send that Bennett. We need a sprinkle of dickhead. We got Chucky. You know what I mean? Like we got it here and there. So it's nice permeated evenly throughout all the lines.
A recipe for success in hockey, as told by Rino Cerbone in chef terminology. All right, we've said this many times, and it just continues to be exemplified with each passing day that we could have been any more dead wrong about Paul Maurice than we were. Lubie and I thought this was a bullshit hire. He's losing his coaching to hockey history. He's never won a Stanley Cup, even though he's been coaching since Scotty Bowman was an embryo. I mean, the guy, a lot of reasons to think this was just another bozoic sort of token move that really wasn't going to result in anything positive. And then, did you see his reaction? I guess he was being asked about the Barkov Draisaitl hit.
Yeah.
And somebody must have put it, along the lines of, what were your feelings about what happened with Draisaitl?
This is
and
he said, Winfrey.
Yeah, that was his quote. This isn't the Oprah Winfrey show.
Show
feelings don't matter.
I love it.
No, I mean, how do we not celebrate this guy? I mean, he is the hockey equivalent of Tommy Lasorda when it comes to spreading good cheer and, being an ambassador for the game.
He is. He gave a speech the other night in a room that someone recorded that he is like, I felt like I was watching the real life Miracle, Miracle, like there was like this and that's the thing about him. It's not rehearsed. It's just with him, everything is genuine, even from his snarky sarcasticness, which I fucking love. Just that alone, I love it.
That was great.
But he loves his players, and you could tell it's genuine. The last thing he said in the room in game one, he was just like, your third period was awesome. It was amazing. You guys are fucking brilliant, and I love every one of you. And just walked out the door.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I had like goosebumps. I think I shed a tear, and I was like, I want to. I was like, what the fuck? This guy is he's amazing. I think he just knows how to tailor his attitude to the players he has in the room. We still have a pretty relatively young team. There's a lot of young guys on the team. So it's weird. We have like veteran experience, but a lot of young guys. And I think he knows how to play to be hard when I have to be hard, make them understand I have their backs. It's just weird. It's just, he's just fucking amazing. He really is. I'm so proud to have him. And, I don't see him going anywhere after these, these last 2 years. I think he's gonna continue help building the team and the progress here in Florida and the culture. That's what it is. It's really culture he's building. Yeah.
Well, you always hope that the GM and the coach, or GM and manager of the team that you're rooting for, are in some kind of sync. And I've heard them both talk about the mutual respect they have for each other, and it seems to be genuine. You're watching hockey. It really is unlike any other sport because, as you said, sometimes you're seeing, subtleties about the game where the guy's not going to be in the spotlight. He's not going to be in the limelight.
Right.
And yet you're watching and just that little extra work in the corner or that one, added piece of effort makes a huge differential in a game where every score is at a premium. And that seems to be the case here. Can they continue to shut down the Edmonton Oilers on the road? Is this series, Rino Cerbone of Heritage Restaurant, is it now over? Are the Oilers dead and buried over?
No, that shit isn't over until that last fucking buzzer goes. I don't give a shit how many goals are up. That I'm telling you, that's what it is about hockey. Again, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen series being up from 3-0, and you're like, we got this shit in the bag, and then all of a sudden, something, you get a wild hair up these fuckers' ass, and all of a sudden they'll just find a way. That's the beauty about hockey, though. You really have to maintain that level of where you find where you're excelling, and you got to stay there. For us, I don't think it's over. I think, as an optimist, and you got to be a positive person, all that bullshit. Yes, we're going to win. However, fuck off. Let's be realistic. It's hockey. It's a violent sport. And when it comes down to it, I mean, they're going to throw bodies and they're going to be tough. I said from the beginning, Cats in 6. And I say that because There's always a little bit of adversity, that has to come. Look, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in Edmonton. Dude, first off, the trip alone is exhausting. I'm not even going on the trip and I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap. Okay. Just the thought about the guys getting up this morning, having to travel to fucking Guam to go play a hockey game. We thought Vancouver was far, but it's a tough building to play in. It's a tough building to play in. So
I'm glad you used the Guam reference because that's always been one of my favorites. Talking about how these places would pay you that we worked for with a check from the Bank of Guam. It was tough to cash even at the local check cashing store. It's
unbelievable, dude. Like the population in Edmonton is just what's in the arena.
Yeah,
that's how far out it is.
These people look like complete goofballs. When they show they had a couple of shots. I guess they, like all of these places now have a gathering of the local fans outside somewhere outside the arena. I'm not inclined to do any of that. I don't know about you, Reno. I'm perfectly okay just sprawled out on the couch.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, I'm not a rad person to watch the game with. I get very quiet and I get so into it. Last thing I want to do is be around a bunch of fucking drunk jerk-offs yelling and screaming. Like
you're making a cup snake that goes like 500 feet. Looks like you could put out a fire with it. Yeah.
Last night, and imagine this, like fucking multiplied, especially in the Canadian market. Last night there was a guy sitting behind me that I swear to God I wanted to fucking turn around and just beat the ever living shit out of him. That at one point he was eating, and I was just gonna like finger his mouth and shove the food down his throat, make him choke. This guy was one of those negative fans that no matter what the Panthers did, no matter what.
What was Lubie at the game?
I was actually very positive.
Yeah.
I felt
sounds like Lubie
really strong last night.
Was gonna light this motherfucker on fire. I was like, keep your mouth shut, shut your mouth. Oh, and also because I had made friends with an Oilers fan right next to me because he was there. He flew from Sweden in support of his friend Ekholm. That was
jeez,
right.
Who had to go?
He had invested interest in, and I saw this guy shitting his pants. I was like, "Hey, bud, good luck. Everything all right?" Like, whatever. And we just started hitting it off like right after the national anthem and whatever. And me and him just kept on looking at this guy like he even felt bad for me. He was like, "Fuck, man, this guy you guys are winning, and this guy's just still shitting all over you." Then I turn around, and this guy's got like a fucking glass eye, like cockeye, bald, ugly as hell. And I just like turn around and be like, "Dude, why don't you just go on the ice and do it yourself, you fucking stuff, you fat slob?"
I thought you were going to say you turned around and it was Gretzky was sitting behind you.
Dude, seriously, with this cockeye, I was getting like fucking seriously. So imagine that in Edmonton by the dozens surrounded you.
Oh my God!
I'm liable to go to prison.
These guys are what? They're living on whale blubber. I don't know.
No,
that's probably the number one thing on a menu in Edmonton.
They're not fucking Eskimos.
Yeah, Devo has a weird image of Edmonton.
Jeez, they're not making bars of soap out of whale fat. Like, what do you?
He thinks like Juno.
Seriously,
that's the best question ever. What do Juno?
He thinks it's an igloo. They're in the igloo.
All right, we don't know much. When are we coming in again? I see Mayo snoring for freebies or something here on the chat line. I took a glance.
I don't know.
At that. He wants you to invite
he wants
Paul
Maurice. He wants us.
Yeah.
Mayo looks hungry.
And have him be on the show as well. So I don't know if you can arrange all of that for us, Reno, but we do appreciate you coming on our show. That's for sure.
You got it. Yeah, listen, I'm definitely not Paul Maurice, but I'll tell you what, I'll throw a couple F-bombs here and there just like him, and it's an honor.
This ain't reality TV. I mean, that was a good one. That was right out of that,
that was great.
DiCaprio movie, right? Where he was involved with like Jack Nicholson and the Boston Mob. What the heck was that?
The
Departed.
The Departed. Yeah, The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed. Yeah.
This ain't reality TV. No, it was great. All right, Reno, we love you, man. Always great. Brilliant dissection of the game and a lot of good color, filling in what it was like to be at the arena. And thank you for playing What Kind of Scumbag Are You?
I love that game. Get it going for the next game because there's plenty of scumbags I'd like to talk about.
We know them all. Trust me. All right.
We love you.
Thanks, Reno. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Cats.
Thank you.
Later.
Rino Cerbone, ladies and gentlemen. Check out his restaurant, Heritage. Great place.
Yep. As Reno says, it ain't over till it's over. As we watched with the Miami Heat win 3 titles. We've watched with the Marlins win titles. Still waiting to see the Dolphins win a title in my lifetime. Panthers trying to join that group of franchises with a title. They're up 2-0. They played really well throughout the playoffs, including this series. But it isn't over. The Oilers are getting ornery. The Oilers will be at home. They do have a lot of talent. hopefully the Panthers keep the pressure up. Hopefully Barkov is okay after that stupid ass hit from Draisaitl. It was annoying, and the way they played late in that game, the Oilers, was very chippy and the kind of thing you don't see in the Stanley Cup Finals. Even when a game's lost, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, you don't want to risk losing guys. You want to risk your guys or even the other guys to injury. Rough, tumble, physical. That's hockey. But Stanley Cup Finals, they got dirty. They got grimy, and it was a joke. We'll see if there's any penalties after it, and we'll see what happens with Barkov after that game. But I am looking forward to Game 3 again Thursday night. Panthers head over to take on the Oilers and their home ice in Northwest Canada. We'll see. You do have the NBA Finals coming back Wednesday night. We'll definitely talk about that. Check us out each and every morning. The Defo Show with Lubie on South Florida Live, YouTube, South Florida Live, Facebook. We talk lots of South Florida sports and some national sports. Check us out on our national podcast every day. It's on nofilter.net, but also just Google The Morning Briefing, Caffeine TV. Yes, caffeine, like you get in a nice soda or some coffee. Caffeine TV, The Morning Briefing. We talk national sports, talk some local sports. Check us out on our other podcast, The Believe Network, BLEAV.com. Search After Hours. Have some really fun in and outside the world of sports conversations. But our South Florida Q content lives right here. The Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.